morning, everybody. Thanks for taking a minute to check out my work week forecast for December 9th through the 13th. Quite a bit going on, so we're going to go through this pretty quick today, but just to kind of give you an idea, there's two systems. One, mostly this evening and into tomorrow, into the overnight tonight, which is a weak wintry mixed storm, have a little bit of snow, a little bit of a kind of a glaze of ice with it. And then a more significant storm, although maybe less significant in terms of actual impacts, with a decent amount of rain, quite a bit of rain actually, Tuesday into Wednesday, Tuesday night really into Wednesday, which could bring a couple of inches of rain, maybe even 3 inches in a few spots. So definitely, we're definitely in an active pattern. Let's take a look at what's going on. We can kind of go through things. First of all, here's our system for this afternoon and today. It's kind of racing in our direction. We'll bring with it some light, mostly wintry precipitation, some snow, some mixed precipitation, kind of a light glazing of ice. Maybe a little bit of sleet mixed in some spots as well. Not a lot of accumulation. Higher elevations in areas east of the greens may get 1 or 2 inches of snow, maybe 3 in a couple of spots. But mostly this is kind of just an in and out of here kind of thing. It's mixed with some rain and maybe a little bit of freezing rain. This evening, you want to just be careful if you're out traveling this evening. It shouldn't be terrible, but you just want to keep an eye on it. Travel roads should be fine, I think, basically. And here's the beginnings of different pieces that are going to come together to form our storm Tuesday night into Wednesday. That's going to be a much stronger storm, but it's going to track west of us, and we're going to be all rain for that system. And so that one is going to bring us a lot of rain, but not much else. I know that's not really what everybody's wanting to hear. We've kind of had a good start to the snow season, the ski season, but it is what it is. Here's today's system, which does have some moisture associated with it. If this was all snow and all kind of fluffy snow, we could get a decent amount out of it. Not a huge amount, but a good, like, moderate snowstorm. But that's not what's going to happen. It's mostly rain to our west, but you can kind of see this front that is sort of stalled out with the cooler air to the north, and we're kind of right in the front area. So that's going to make a difference to some extent on precipitation types. It's going to be kind of a close call as to what exactly falls from the sky here. That's what things are looking like. Here's a bunch of different pieces you can kind of see of little systems, little pieces of energy. They're all going to come together and create a big storm that's going to head in our direction later in the week, but as rain. Let's take a look at the first storm. Here's what one of the models wants to do. As you can see, decent amount of snow, areas west of the greens, mostly rain, a little bit of mixed in there. Mostly snow. I would say there's more sleet and freezing rain mixed in with that snow than the models are currently depicting, than this one depicts. But this is kind of a pretty good idea. It's about a 12-hour system, so precipitation starts sometime 2 to 4 o'clock this afternoon, maybe even a little earlier, maybe as early as 1 o'clock, and it continues through about 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. Should be fine for tomorrow morning travel-wise. Could be a couple slushy spots on the side roads, but we'll be warming up. Temperatures will be warming up. Basically, no problems tomorrow. So tomorrow is fine. Let's take a look at those totals this is for the first system. So we're going to kind of break this down. First system, second system, the week's going to end up pretty good. So basically nothing, or just a little bit of slush as you're west of the greens, the Route 7 kind of corridor all the way up from Bennington all the way up to Rutland. Basically nothing. As you start to head up the mountains, you do get a little bit of snow, 1 to 2 inches. That's the general amount for most of us. It's kind of a slushy, crusty 1 to 2 inches. Could be a little bit of a glaze on top of that as well of just a little bit of sleet or freezing rain. The highest elevations, 2 to 3 inches. Not a giant, yeah. So again, 2 to 3 inches, nothing too crazy here either, but enough that it could be a little slippery tonight. So that's basically the travel issues would be tonight. Let's take a look as we go further in the forecast at the next system. Here's our system. By tomorrow midday, we've got a storm really coming together here already in northern Kentucky, and it is going to take its time initially. So the first 24 hours we follow the storm. By Wednesday midday, it's just in northern Pennsylvania, southern New York, and then it goes west of us before it finally really starts to come together. Now, there's going to be kind of a couple of waves with this system, and as this comes through, we are definitely on the wet side of this system. So it could be wet here. 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rain looks pretty locked in. Up to 3 is possible, certainly. We'll have a little bit of snow melt with that as well. Thankfully, we were very dry this fall, so even though that's quite a bit of precipitation and the ground has started to freeze up a little bit, I'm not too concerned about any kind of flooding issues or anything like that. I would say rivers will come way up with this compared to especially where they've been, and certainly those there could be some ponding on the roads and things like that with any frozen culverts or anything like that, but nothing too big of a concern. Just that it is going to be wet, and you're going to want to kind of take it easy if you're traveling, especially during the day on Wednesday when we could have some pretty heavy downpours. With that, temperatures will be coming up, and then behind that we kind of get into some cooler, more kind of typical weather with some flurries left over on Thursday and Friday. Let's take a quick look at what that forecast actually looks like. So Monday, as you can see, that's today, wintry mix this afternoon and overnight. Temperatures in general in the mid to upper 30s. It'll cool off a little bit when precipitation gets in here tomorrow. Mostly just a cloudy day. The rain doesn't really get started till later on in the afternoon tomorrow, I would say. Definitely after 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, you start to get into those rain chances. Could have sprinkles anytime during the day tomorrow. Tomorrow's not an amazing day. Wednesday, that's when the solid rain comes in anytime from like midnight on Tuesday through about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday before it starts to taper to showers. And then it starts to cool off. We're up in the mid 40s on Wednesday, so we are going to melt some of that snow, although the mountains will do okay. They've got a lot of snow there already. Thursday, we cool right back down. That'll give the mountains a couple of days, Thursday and Friday, to make a lot of snow and to catch back up, hopefully to get those conditions back to pretty good for another decent ski weekend as we head towards the end of the weekend. It'll be cool. It will be cool, not cold this weekend, with temperatures probably in the upper 20s, I would say, to maybe low 30s. Skiing temperatures probably in the 20s. So pretty good skiing, and with a couple of days to recover from the rain, they should be in pretty good shape. There's still a lot of snow up there, especially on the mountains, as we head through the rest of the week. Let's take a look at those highlights as we go through. A busy work week weather-wise, with a weak winter storm today and a strong rainstorm tomorrow night into Wednesday. The system tonight brings wintry mix with light snow accumulations up to 3 inches. That's really just in the highest of elevations. A succession of lows will bring significant rain to the area Tuesday afternoon through Wednesday, kind of in waves. We return to a more winter-like weather with flurries and colder temperatures to end the week. Next weekend looks quiet with seasonable temperatures as we head towards the middle part of December. That's what's going on. Looks pretty good. I do want to give a quick shout out to my patrons to help support what I do here at the West River Weather Guy. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel before, I would encourage you to do so. Helps make sure you don't miss any of my videos. I'll be back with an updated look at, or with a look at your weekend forecast on Friday. If anything changes or the weather on Wednesday starts to look a little bit worse than it is now, I might be back with a midweek forecast, although my week this week's pretty busy, so probably not till Friday with a look at your weekend forecast. All right. I will have a Wednesday update for my patrons. If you're interested in figuring out what that's like, you can check out my Patreon page and see how you can get those midweek forecasts.